Let's begin with a quick tour to the Sphinx 4 graphical interface. This is the multi-view, which is consisted of three parts. The first part is the site tree, which presents the project structure. It is similar to the Explorer in MS Windows for exploring the different folders. And we can see that in this tree we can view all the different sites that our project resides in. The second part is the map, a graphical map with all the controller's components presented as icons. The icons are active and dynamic. The third part is the monitor view, which shows all the records, all the transactions details regarding all type of operations in the Sphinx 4. Card events, controller events, and others. In the site tree, we can see that we are controlling the access to three different sites. The site in New York, the site in London, and the site in Paris. Each site can have several buildings. Each building can have many floors. Each floor will have a map. In New York, we have the head office building, with a lobby floor, which is presented, and also the first floor. Once we click on the first floor, the map will appear. In London, we have the London branch. Again, we can have more than one building. We have the floor 1 map and the second floor map as well. We can put any type of map. In Paris, we have the Paris branch with floor number 1 map. Going back to the head office, to the lobby, we can see the map section, the map view. Expanding the lobby in the site tree allows us to see all the controller components which are presented in the lobby map. This means the different locks, the different exit buttons, the different door sensors, extension inputs and outputs. We can name every one of the components. We can also right click to open a menu that will allow us to command the different components. Open locks, close them, open sensors, close them, open extension relays, open the exit buttons, and so on. Any command performed from the software through the site tree, meaning remotely, will activate the relevant component on the controller, changing the icon both on the site tree and in the map. We can see that the lock was opened since we opened the lock by clicking open in the right click menu. We go back to normal and the lock will be closed both on the site tree and in the map. The same goes for any other floor and any other hardware components which is configured in the maps. When we move to the map area, as mentioned, we can also activate the different components. We can right click on locks or doors or exit buttons and give them a command of open, close, back to normal, and so on. If, for example, a controller components will change its status, we will see that on the map. For example, if the entrance door will be opened, the icon will change and the guard or operator will be able to see that the door is really opened. Similarly, in a similar way, we can command any other type of the components, including the extension inputs and the extension outputs that kicking controllers are providing. This way we can use the access control system provided by Keyking also as a building management tool. Thanks to the extension inputs and outputs and the ability to program them, we can use it as inputs and outputs for the building automation. It can be used to monitor the air condition, the lights, and even to alert in case of fire. For example, if the system will sense a fire alarm coming from the fire system, a fire icon will be presented immediately on the map. We can also see that a relay allocated for the fire system was opened, and this can be a siren or any other type of system. In the current configuration, in addition to watching the different doors status, we can also control the air condition system, opening and closing it from the software, from the Sphinx software. We can control the light system by opening and closing it from the Sphinx software. We have an input, we have an indicator saying whether the car parking system is opened or closed, okay, based on the car parking counter, which means if we still have space in the car parking, then the green light will show. Otherwise, if the car parking is full, then a red light, like a red traffic light, will be presented instead of the green. As mentioned, we can switch between the different maps very easily and see the status of each one of the controller components, each one of the doors, each one of the extension outputs. We can expand to see the hardware, the controller components in each floor. We can open more maps if you would like to on the same time in different windows. Allowing us to have several maps opened on the same time. The events monitor shows us where was the last transaction. For example, if we have a card holder coming in, we will see a pop-up window with the card holder details and pictures, as well as an event saying who was the card holder and through which door he was coming through. We can use any type of maps, 3D as well as two-dimensional. Card holders can be valid card holders or visitors as well, which will be presented with the picture taken using a web camera, for example. At the moment, we see the door icons, the locks icons, the exit button icons, and the extension inputs and extension outputs icons. These are the extension outputs. Sphinx 4 allows us to have an icon library. Sphinx 4 provides us with icon library where we can change the icon, the graphical icon, for each one of the components according to our wish. We can just import even third-party icons. We can import also third-party icons and use it in Sphinx 4. Now that we have some basic understanding about the Sphinx 4 monitoring interface, let's move on to learning in details how to configure Sphinx 4 and what are the complete features and advantages Sphinx 4 is providing.